My name is Sally Shepherd Cofer-Lindberg, and I use all three of my names because of my connection to community hospice. I have been involved with community hospice actually for 30 years. My first involvement with community hospice was when my first husband, Bob, had brain cancer, and that was actually 30 years ago. So, been involved, this is the 40th anniversary of hospice, and we've really been involved with hospice for 30 years. And 30 years ago, the services were quite different than they are today. They were wonderful and great and really helped our family. And then we didn't need hospice until my second husband developed a really rare and awful disease 14 years later, and I asked again for help. So after that, I wound up being a member of the Community Hospice Foundation Board for 8 years. Following that, I joined Friends of Hospice, and I've been with Friends of Hospice for 5 years, and I'll be there until I'm no longer able to do so. I have so many memories. One of the first memories that really stands out was when my second husband, Bert, died. He was a force of nature. He was a 40-year Lion, member of the Lions Club. And when Bert died, I went on a trip to kind of gather myself, and my best friend and I had a miscommunication about Bert's belongings. She thought I had asked her to get rid of everything. So she took everything while I was gone to the thrift store, the hospice thrift store. That wasn't what I wanted to have happen. And I was literally bereft because Bert's stuff was gone and I wasn't ready for that. And among his things that she took there to the thrift store was his Lions vest. Lions wear the yellow vest and it's covered with pins. It was Bert's 40-year pin vest. And Marianne Cannon, who was working here at the time, picked up on that. She contacted all of the managers of the thrift stores, and they stopped doing everything. All of the thrift store managers stopped everything and went through everything that had come in. And then I got a call from Marianne, and she said, "We have your husband's pins," and called me here. I couldn't believe it, that everything stopped. They were looking for something so important for me with so much going on in their stores. And she handed me a box when I got here, a little gold box tied up with a gold ribbon, and every one of Bert's 40-year pins were in that box. And that told me right then how the amazing love and concern and compassion for me, and this was before I was a member of the board, before I was anybody special, but I was treated pretty darn special. In the 30 years that I have been with hospice in one way or another, the expansion, the growth, the movement has been phenomenal, and it's exciting to see the scope of services that have expanded. Palliative care, which is a wonderful service for folks that aren't near the end of life but really need help. The service for children, for infants, and small children is huge. The crisis teams that go into high schools or any place where there's a crisis need I don't think many people know that we have a crisis team. The food bank that we have for folks that are not only dealing with end-of-life transitions, but maybe they don't have enough food to feed their families. We do that. We help people with utility bills when there are all kinds of services that weren't here before when hospice first started. 40 years ago, then 30 years ago, and even in the last few years, it's exploding with amazing new services. It's not just end-of-life care anymore. It's across the board terrific services that are growing. And our thrift stores are amazing. The growth into a wider geographical community is huge. It's a wonderful service that is
incredibly, profoundly growing and meeting the needs of so many more services. Working with children in schools, Camp Aaron, it's just so many more that I don't know for sure all of the things that are happening. I find out new things all the time when our CEO comes and talks with us at Friends of Hospice. And that's a great thing too. The communication from the top down is wonderful. We are not out in the dark. We appreciate that. We like to know what's going on because we're really the hands and feet, and they are the leaders, and we appreciate being involved and told what's going on and shared with. That's really important to all of us who work so hard. I am Sally Cofer-Lindberg. I support community hospice. Happy 40th anniversary.